This is Diane Murray at Southern Art Gallery, and today we are looking at the color yellow as part of our continuing series on color theory. And I have swatched out the yellow pigments that I have on my palette, and in the yellows I have included the earthier yellows, and I've also included the orangey yellows and the green yellows because they're all part of the yellow family. So that being said, if we look at our color wheel and we're looking at the color yellow, yellow can either be a warm temperature moving toward the orange and the red, or it can be cool moving toward the green and the blue. So we have different samples of all different kinds of yellows. So let's get started, and I'll just show you a cool yellow, which I use on my palette. This is one of the colors I use all the time. This is lemon yellow. This is by Sennelier, and it's PY3. Hansa Yellow Light is also a PY3. It's also very popular, and you can use these interchangeably. This is a Da Vinci color. Most brands have a PY3 or a Hansa Light. You just have to look for that name. This is Naples Yellow, which I tend to use a lot. It's very soft, and it does have white in it, which makes it a little bit on the opaque side. It has PY35 and two whites, PW6 and PW4, and this is a Naples Yellow by Sennelier. This is the Cadmium Yellow, Lemon Yellow again, but it's a PY35. It's a cadmium color, and I don't use cadmium colors unless I absolutely have to, because they tend to be more opaque and somewhat toxic. This is a very nice yellow. This is Sennelier's Yellow Light. It's a PY153, which is also a very common warm yellow pigment. This is also a warm yellow pigment. This is kind of really a mid-range pigment, I guess, really middle of the road. This one, Hansa Yellow Deep, many artists use as their warm yellow. It's PY65, and it's by Da Vinci. This is the color I use as my warm yellow. This is Nickel Azo. This is by Daniel Smith, but M. Graham and lots of companies make a Nickel Azo. This is a Permanent Gamboge by Turner. This is a beautiful color for a dark yellow. PY150, PY110, and PY109. Turner tends to have more pigments in their paint, which you have to be careful with, because when you mix this with another color, you end up having way too many pigments in your paint. This is a beautiful color by Holbein called PY37. Oh, excuse me, it's called Jaune, or Jaune, Jaune, and it's PY37 and a white, PW6. This and these two colors are great for skin tones. This is a Naples Yellow Reddish by a May-Marie Blue. It has a white, PW6, PY42, and a PR101. This is a Transparent Yellow, which is a nice middle-of-the-road yellow by Winsor Newton. It's a PY150. This is Yellow Ochre. It's PY42. This is by Holbein. This is Yellow Ochre by M. Graham. It's PY43, and I use this occasionally but rarely because it is so opaque. This is close to Yellow Ochre. This is called Golden Lake, and it's more transparent. It's by May-Marie Blue, and it's a PY49. This is Daniel Smith's Quinacridone Gold, which is just a wildly popular color. It's PO49, so it's made with an orange pigment. This is Nickel Quinacridone Gold by M. Graham, which is PO48. This is the quinacridone gold that I use. I also use Indian Yellow by M. Graham, which I think is just a gorgeous deep yellow, PY110. This is Indian Yellow by May Marie Blue. As you can see, it's just a different variation. It's PY139 and PV49, which is a quinacridone color or pigment. This is Permanent Yellow Deep by May Marie Blue. It's PY139, so this is just this without the quinacridone. This is Italian Deep Ochre by Daniel Smith. It's a nice earthy color. It's a PY43, which is the same pigment that's used in the yellow ochre up here. This is by Daniel Smith also. This is a color called Lunar Earth, which is, I just think it's a beautiful color. It's made with brown. It's a PBR11. This is a Daniel Smith called Italian Burnt Sienna, and it's made with the PBR7, which is a brown 7. This is Quinacridone Gold by Da Vinci, and if you compare it with these quinacridone golds, you can see it's very much on the orange side because it has red in it. It's a PY150 and a PR206. This is Quinacridone Gold by Core, which is even more orange. It's really too orange for my liking. It's a pretty color though. It's PO48 and PY150. This is a beautiful color called Terra by Da Vinci. Terra something, I can't read my own writing there, but Terra Rosa maybe. PR102 is a very, very pretty color. This is Mars Brown by May Marie Blue. It's a PR101, which is there are two common pigments for burnt sienna. This is one of them. The other one is the PBR7. So most burnt siennas are made with either one of those pigments. Here's a burnt sienna that's by Da Vinci. This is the burnt sienna I use. It's burnt sienna deep, and it's PR101. I also use this color by M. Graham. It's called Quinacridone Rust, and it's made with an orange, PO48. This is Quinacridone Burnt Orange by Da Vinci, and I may not have put enough paint on here because this is a darker color. It's closer to that. It's also PO48. This is an interesting color called Dragon's Blood, made by May Marie Blue. It's a PBR7 and a PR209. This is a color called Indian Red, and I'm sorry I don't know which brand that is or the pigment information on that, but I just found that on my palette. This is Burnt Umber by Da Vinci. It's a PBR7. And I included the browns because they're just basically easy to make with yellow, and they kind of fit in here. This is Pyrrole Orange, Transparent Pyrrole Orange by Core. It's PO71. And I just added these because I felt like I needed to be fair to Winsor Newton. This is a Cadmium Yellow by Winsor Newton. It's PY35. And this is the Cadmium Yellow, that's the pale, and this is the Cadmium Yellow Medium, which is PY35 and PO20, so they added a little orange to that. And here are your greens. This is Leaf Green by Holbein. This is my favorite leaf green, PY154 and PG7, which is Phthalo Green and a yellow. And this is the same color by Da Vinci. It's made slightly different. It's PG7, which is Phthalo Green, but they added a PY65, and this is a little too bright for me. So what I do with this is I just add more yellow and get it that color. And then lastly, we have Azo Green by M. Graham, which is PY129, and that same pigment in Core is called Green Gold. So you can see that yellows can lean way to the green side or to the brown side or to the red side or orange. It's amazing the range that you can get with just one color. So it pays to know your colors and know which pigments or do which things so that you know what you want. If you want a warm yellow or a cool yellow, you really have to learn the difference so that you don't end up duplicating your purchases. So that's what we have on yellow, and I hope you found this helpful. And if you did, please subscribe, and we will continue to look at the different options and the different pigments and hues. And I think next we'll do green.